What are the different types of rental leases, and which is best for me? Signing a rental lease is a big deal, and it is important that you fully understand the rules and conditions outlined in your lease agreement before entering into a legally binding agreement. One of the most crucial factors your rental lease will outline is the length of the lease agreement. Different types of leases have lengths that range from 30 days to multiple years. The length of the lease term is typically determined by your landlord or property manager, but you do have the right to negotiate on the length of the lease term if your landlord is willing to do so. What is a month-to-month lease? A month-to-month lease agreement is just as it sounds. The terms and conditions of the tenancy agreement are outlined for 1 month, giving both parties the ability to terminate the lease agreement within an approximate month-long time frame. While most month-to-month lease agreements will automatically renew at the end of each month, the lease will list requirements for situations where a tenant wants to move out or a landlord wants a tenant to vacate the property. Pros and cons. Flexibility. The biggest plus to a month-to-month lease agreement is the flexibility to change lease terms or move. If you're looking for a short-term living arrangement or trying out a new location, the ability to move without breaking your lease is much easier than if you're involved in an annual or multi-year lease agreement. It can also be easy to negotiate lease terms from month to month for items like pet policies or maintenance requirements. Con. Potential for rent increases. Month-to-month renters often feel the biggest impact from rent increases. Because you are technically entering into a new lease agreement each month, your landlord does have the ability to implement a rent increase at any time. State laws will specify how much notice landlords are required to give tenants before implementing a rent increase on a month-to-month lease, but few state laws limit the number of times or amount of rent increases in a given year. What is an annual lease? An annual lease, or a fixed-term lease, has a designated start and end date. Fixed-term lease agreements generally range from 6 months to 1 year, and at the end of the term the tenant will either move out or the lease will transition to a month-to-month agreement. Your lease agreement should provide specific details on what will happen at the end of the 1-year agreement. Some landlords will offer a renewal option at the end of the lease term, which can often be accompanied by a rent increase. Pros and cons. Guaranteed occupancy. In an annual lease agreement, you are not at risk of lease terms or rental rates changing for the entire duration of the lease. Your landlord typically cannot institute new rules, fees or conditions unless both parties mutually agree to an addendum. As long as both parties uphold the terms and conditions of the lease agreement and follow local landlord-tenant laws, you're guaranteed tenancy for the entirety of the annual agreement. Con. Can't move if your situation changes. If your job changes or you go through another unexpected life change like a family or medical emergency, you'll likely have to pay a fee to break your lease agreement before the annual agreement is up. This also means you're stuck with your living situation despite circumstances like bad neighbors or roommates. What is a multi-year lease? A multi-year lease is another version of a fixed-term lease agreement. The agreed-upon term is just longer than 1 year. Finding housing with a reliable, honest landlord or management company can be difficult, especially in a competitive rental market. Multi-year leases certainly allow you to avoid starting the search process over each year, but you need to seriously consider all of the factors of the living situation and whether or not you are willing to commit for multiple years. Pros and cons. Security. If you're not planning to make any major life changes in the next few years, a multi-year lease can be an excellent option to ensure your housing, expenses and landlord will all be fixed for the foreseeable future. Regardless of the economy, inflation or other factors, you have the guarantee that your rent won't increase for the duration of your agreement. Unless an automatic annual increase is written into your agreement, in which case, you will have the security of knowing exactly how much you will be spending in the future. Con. You're locked in. A multi-year lease means limited flexibility, should the need arise. A bad landlord, an inconsiderate neighbor or an exciting job opportunity in a new town won't leave you with much room for flexibility. Do your due diligence and ask all of the important questions up front to be sure you want to continue to live in the same place and rent from the same person for multiple years. For more information, contact us now.
006353-561-9346
or at 00639338161046 or at 00639171539608. You can also email us at jfpropertygroup.info@gmail.com. Visit us on our website at www.jfpropertygroup.com. Register now.
Services we offered: land survey, title transfer, DAR clearance, building permit application, home renovation, water application, electrical application, property advertisement, architectural services, electrical services, civil engineering, mechanical engineering, drilling services, heating, ventilation, air conditioning, birth certificate registration.
Visit our website. Scan me. And don't forget to subscribe and click notification bell icon for more properties for sale and for rent. Thank you.